Hey everyone, I'm Steve from GamersNexus.net, and what you are looking at is a maximum graphics settings version of Star Wars Battlefront, currently running on a single GTX 980 Ti, the MSI Seahawk, which we just benchmarked. And as you can see, at 4K with max settings, we're actually pushing this card about to its limit. It's not perfectly fluid. If you want perfect fluidity with 4K at max, we reveal in our benchmark, which accompanies this, that it basically requires SLI GTX 980 Ti's or a similar AMD configuration. So this course is our benchmark course. First of all, the game is in open beta. That means not all maps are available right now, not all game modes, not all vehicles. A lot of stuff is still locked down. So that means that these benchmarks that we show in the article accompanying this benchmark course could be different depending on what map you're playing and how the full release version of the game impacts performance. So do keep that in mind. That said, this course was selected specifically because it is easily replicable. I know it's not super interesting compared to the multiplayer footage, which I'm also showing in this video when the benchmark course concludes, but it was chosen carefully because we want to be able to replicate a benchmark scenario 100% of the time with certainty that there are no external elements influencing the performance of these cards. And those external elements could include networking issues or even just having a ton of players in the game. But more importantly, being able to replicate movements precisely on a map when you're getting shot at and killed by other players isn't really something that's a reliable test measure. So we tested in single player using survival mode, tested the first 30 seconds, and then repeated for parity a minimum of 3 times per video card per setting, per resolution. So quite a lot of tests here tonight. And that creates very reliable metrics for the game that we currently have our hands on. Now, as the game iterates, things can change, but we will revisit this topic as release date approaches. The rest of the footage you're looking at and have been looking at is some multiplayer stuff that I played around with when I was researching the impact of the game's multiplayer versus single player on FPS, and I found that in general, with the game in its current state, the FPS of multiplayer and single player are comparable, meaning that the numbers you see in our benchmark charts are representative of what you would see in the multiplayer game. You might get a couple of 3 to 7 FPS hits at absolute worst in very intense multi-person battles with a lot of explosions and environment damage and things like that. So in those scenarios, you will get a hit that is maybe not seen in the single player benchmark. Make sure to hit that Patreon link in our post-roll video if you want to support us in making this type of content in the future. We've been doing this type of content for a while now. It's very time intensive, but it's a lot of fun, and I hope it helps you all out. So I will see you all next time.